Hi, hello. I started watching this show and I have thoughts. So I'm 4 episodes in. It's called 100 Memories. It's about these two girls who become best friends and they're both bus attendants in 1982. Um, they basically are the ones that like let people on and off the buses and like collect like the money and the fares and whatever. And so they meet through that and become best friends, and they're very cute together. And I was really hesitating to watch this show because I was like, I knew that there was a love triangle, and I was like, I abhor love triangles. I hate them so much. They're so annoying. They're so taxing. They're so unnecessary and annoying. And my least favorite trope, truthfully, that it probably exists. But I was like, let me watch it anyways, because the two main female leads I liked, and then the male lead that's in the show too, I was like, oh, I like him. And I was like, okay, let's just see. Like, let's see where this show goes. It has thrown me for a whirlwind the last 4 episodes. So basically, like I said, the two girls, and then they meet this guy. I should say, okay, one of the girls, her name is, how do I say it? Young Ray. That's gonna be how I pronounce it, because I'm gonna need names for these characters, so you know what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of characters. So Young Ray lives at, all the bus attendants live like at the place. They have like this one room and they share with all the girls, so she lives there, but she has her mom and her siblings and her older brother. Okay, so that's that character. Jong-hee is the other girl. She just pops out of nowhere. She comes in into the show. We don't really have any context for her backstory except little glimpses here and there. And her backstory basically is that she has her brother. I think her parents died, and her brother, like, it was just the two of them, but he was abusive and horrible, and she must have run away at some point, and now he's trying to find her. So that's like a portion of her story, okay? And then we have the main male lead who, oh gosh, I just like literally forgot his name. Jae Pyo is his name. Okay, so there's the male lead. And then there's his best friend who is kind of in the show, and I really like his character, but I don't know if he's actually going to be in it. His name is like Sangchul or Sungchul, something like that. Okay, so that's like your 4 main characters. The two girls, between the two girls, Young Ray really likes Jae Pyo. They met in different situations. There was a bunch of coincidences. They kept meeting. She fell for him, whatever. He is not interested in her, and I need you to understand that. He does not have feelings for her, whatever. He develops feelings for Jung Hyu. I forgot what her other name. Jung Hyu. I literally said it like 2 seconds ago. Anyways, he likes the other girl. Okay, that's all you need to know. So now we have our love triangle. We have the guy, the one girl likes him. He likes the other girl. The other girl doesn't, like the girl that he likes, it's not 100% confirmed if she likes him. It seems like she's kind of giving him a chance because Young Ray keeps pushing it, which is weird because it's like, girl, you like him, so why do you keep pushing it? She also, when they were talking about him, Young Ray didn't tell Jong-hee, I think it's Jong-hee, she didn't tell her that she liked Jae Pyo. She was just like, oh, you should go for it. Yeah, I didn't really like him. It's like, girl, you're being stupid. Why are you telling your friend that you didn't like him when you clearly did? And it was also very obvious that she liked him. Like, she was not subtle about it. So it's like, why are you being whatever? And then her whole shtick was like, oh, well, one of us should be able to pursue happiness. And I was like, huh? So you can't? You have to just be unhappy and your friend has to... What? She's weird. I don't know how I feel about the main character, because she's just a little too self-sacrificing in a way that's like, girl, be so for real. You can be a little bit selfish. It's okay to be a little selfish, because she's like such a nice person and she's such a kind and giving person. So it's like, girl, you don't have to just like even if you don't end up with Jae Pyo, you can like go look at other men. You can like meet someone else. And that's a big part of the show, of like a lot of people's criticisms of the show is a lot of people don't want Young Ray and Jong Pyo to be together, because the generalized theory is that, because this show starts when they're like 18, 19, and everyone's theory is that there's going to be a time jump, which I really hope there is. This is the one show I really want a time jump in, because we know that the girls have a falling out. That's like a big part of the plot. It's like literally in the plot description is that they like, because of the love triangle, something happens. And we don't know, as the audience, we don't know if it's like, oh, they have a friendship breakup because of the guy, or if he's like a contributing factor but not the whole reason. We don't know yet. We don't know what happens. But even with the teaser of the next episode, of episode 5, I was getting kind of a vibe of, I think Jung-hee's just gonna dip because her brother pops back into the story and is like trying to, like, I don't know, take her home. I don't know what his problem is. He's just terrible. Anyways, so I'm wondering if she's gonna run away again, type of situation. But anyways, but yeah, a lot of people don't want Jung-hee and I'm getting my names mixed up. Don't want Jae-pyeol, the guy, and Young-rae, the girl, to be together. Because a lot of people are like, he doesn't deserve her. Like, she doesn't, wait, I'm getting so confused, I'm sorry. He doesn't deserve her. There we go. Like, he's not worth it. Also, a lot of hate for Jae-pyeol. A lot of hate. People do not like this character. And I'm not gonna lie, before I finished all 4 episodes, I was a little bit on that side of like, I don't really like this male lead. Like, he's kind of annoying. Like, he's, like, you can't help who you like, but, like, it's kind of annoying to see him going after the friend when clearly the other girl is, like, really, really likes him, and he's just, like, fully not even acknowledging her. And there were some other things of, like, stuff he did, but I'm like, I don't think he's done anything bad. I'm like, it's not really his fault that he doesn't like Young-rae. Like, he can't do anything about that. It's kind of stupid that people are, like, crucifying him for not liking the other girl and liking Jung-hee, whatever. Oh my gosh. Who cares? No one cares how I pronounce it. Literally no one cares. Anyways, it's not really fair to bash him for liking the other girl. I don't think that it's a fair thing, because it's like, you can't help it if you like someone. Whatever. But I also, this is what I was going to say. Sorry if this explanation is confusing. There's a lot that's happened in this show. There's a lot of characters, and there's a lot of people that Young-rae could end up with. So there's her older brother's best friend, who I actually really like as a character in general. I think he's way better than, he's only like a side character, and in fact, the actor is like a cameo, so I don't even know if the actor's going to be in the show for the rest of the show. He's been in only 4 episodes, and like very minimally, like a couple times, but I don't know, I was really vibing with his character. I liked him better than Jae-pyeol anyways. And I like Jae-pyeol's friend Sung, whatever his name is, Sung something. I liked him way more with Young-rae because he actually really likes her, like genuinely likes her, whereas Jae-pyeol's just like, I want Jung-hee, and it's like, girl, she doesn't even want you. And that's the other thing, is like, at this point in the show, Jung-hee had originally been like, I'm not interested in dating, I don't have any whatever, but because of freaking Young-rae, who kept telling her, no, you need to go after him, and she's like, oh, maybe I should, like, maybe there's something interesting about this guy, and then I'm like, I was like, I swear if Young-rae looks back at these situations and like it resents Jung-hee for any reason, I'm like, girl, you're literally the one that pushed her to go after Jae-pyeol. It's like, you can't be mad about that. I don't think she will, though. I think it's more of just like a generalized regret of like, because there's a lot of like narrations that make it seem like something bad happens and situations go wrong. So the other theory of the show is that someone's either gonna die, or because we know the girls have a falling out, but we don't know why they have a falling out. And I'm not gonna lie, as I was watching the show, it was making me more and more angry that they have a falling out, because I was like, if they like have a friendship breakup and like don't talk to each other because of a freaking man who's not even that great, it's gonna make me so mad. But a lot of people, there's many conflicting opinions about the show, and one of the ones is a lot of people do like Jae-pyeol and Jung-hee together, and the reason is because she's a victim of abuse, and he is too, because his dad, the piece of trash that he is, beats him. So like they have that like trauma bond. So a lot of people are like, oh, the bond that they have, it's because of trauma. It's like a trauma bond. Like anything that happens between them is not going to last. Like they maybe don't even fully like each other. It's just more of like, again, like a trauma. Like we're really similar. We see ourselves in each other. Like we're very similar. We have a lot in common in that context. Because I don't know if I said this, but the other generalized theory is that Young-rae and Jae-pyeol won't end up together now, but if there's a time jump, they'll end up together then. And I feel like if they're going to end up together, that's the only way to do it, because right now, if they ended up together in any context in the timeline that we're in right now, it would just feel like she's his like rebound. Like it wouldn't feel like if the other girl rejects him, or they break up, or if they did start dating, or whatever happened between them, if for some reason he goes back to Young Ray, it would feel like she'd feel like so second choice. And I saw a comment where someone was talking about that, where they were like, she would be second choice, which would suck. And I'm like, no, it's so true, because it's like, if he doesn't end up with Jong-hee and he chooses Young Ray, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll go with this one. And it's like, that's not romantic. That's not romantic. That's not a character you want to root for, where it's like, I guess you're just the second best version, and I guess I can go for you. And it's like, I don't want that for her character, but I also just don't want that in the show. I'm like, he's not interesting enough to be that intriguing. Look at my hair. What is happening? My hair is, it's humid outside, so I think so. That's why it's... Anyways, all of that to say, I don't know how I feel about this show. I think at the end of the day, I just want the characters to end up with who they should end up with. Like, I want Jong-hee and Young Ray's brother, because she has an older brother, I want them to end up together. I like that duo. And whether she ends up with JP, here's the thing. Okay, this is what I want to say, and this is the thought process that I have. People, when I watch a show, okay, when I watch a K-drama, very rarely am I don't want to say wrong about where a show goes, but my predictions for those types of genres of K-dramas are usually not wrong. So my prediction is that I don't really think or agree with people that are like, oh my gosh, Young Ray will end up with one of the other guys. She'll end up with someone else. She should end up with this guy, and I want her to... And I'm like, guys, I get why you think that and want that. This is not... K-dramas don't follow those types of plots. Usually, very, very rarely do the main female leads end up with anyone but the male leads. It's not often that we get a plot twist. There's been like 3 or 4 dramas that have done it in like the history of like many shows. So it's not often that the main character ends up with the second male lead or literally any other option. Even if they're not even the second lead, they're just like a supporting character. That does not happen. Young Ray is almost guaranteed to end up with Jae Peel. It's more like when she ends up with him rather than if. And I don't think people who comment on these shows have watched enough K-dramas to be like, no, it's gonna be Jae Peel and Young Ray. They're the 2 main characters. They're the main leads. Like, here's the thing, I'm not unwilling to be right. It's more just like if I'm wrong, I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with being wrong and then predicting it incorrectly, and it ends up surprising me and changing. The thing is, that does not happen often though. And every promotion for this show that I've seen, it's been Young Ray and Jae Peel. Like that, even just the actors promotion has been the 2 of them. So I'm just like, I don't think people realize that, and I don't think they put that conclusion to this show. Like, it's not, you can't pick and choose with K-dramas. You don't just get to choose which person you want to end up with which person. Very rarely does that happen. They don't differ from the way that they're initially set up. And I say that not in a thriller or even really like a melodrama or anything like that. I'm talking strictly like a romance drama, which is what this show is. Very rarely do the shows ever differ from what you expect to happen. Like, they're pretty predictable usually, and it's like, okay, well, this character and this character, they're going to be together. And like, my whole point is that even if they're not together now, at some point they probably will be at the end of the show, unless they like kill his character off or kill the other friend, or there's some other character that dies or something like that. Usually it's pretty like cut and dry. Like, they don't differ. So I think people that are like thinking that it's going to end in a different way is like very naive, because I'm like, girl, that is not the way K-dramas roll. And like, maybe it'd be different, but I mean, I've seen like 150 plus K-dramas. They don't differ very much, girl. Like, they are pretty predictable. So I could be wrong, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, I could be wrong, and they could throw a total twist in the plot. But I'm like, I don't see that happening, so I don't know why people are so convinced that they've figured out the plot. I'm like, girl, that's not what's gonna happen. I don't know why you think that. Anyways, all of that to say, we'll see if I make any more videos about this show. I don't know if I will. And also, this is kind of funny, but there's this website. It's called My Drama List. This is when I say people are talking about stuff. This is what I'm talking about. It's like a website, and people can leave comments and review stuff, the shows and whatever. And that's where I usually get commentary about shows, because I find a community that actually talks about it. Half the time the community really annoys me because they're really ridiculous, but sometimes I find some insightful opinions, I should say. But anyways, on that website, oh gosh, I totally forgot my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Oh, I was just, I guess, saying that, like, that was where I got those opinions. And oh, now I remember. What I was going to say was, the show, the way I watched it and what I saw was very different, I felt, than what a lot of people in the comments were saying, because I was like reading these comments and I thought certain things would happen in a certain way. And I actually watched it and I was like, what are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing? Because I feel like you're going in way more detail about this situation or this thing that happened in the show that didn't really feel like that way to me. And even people were talking about the preview for the next episode and all these things, and I was like, did we watch the same thing? Because I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, even in just the preview of the next episode and what people were saying about it, I was like, that's not what the next episode showed. Was that JPL found out that Jung Hee was a attendant, not a student, because that was a big thing, was that they went on this blind date and they pretended to be these like daytime students, even though they're attendants and they're also night students. And so I guess the whole vibe of it was like, yeah, she lied, but it was also like she is way poorer and he's like, his family's really rich, so it's like a, you know, status difference or whatever, as part of the reason why I guess it was such a big deal. I literally was watching the show going, who literally cares that you lied? Like, obviously it's wrong to lie, but like, I was like, why are they acting? Because the way the show made it seem was so dramatic, and I was like, who cares? But in that preview, that's how he finds out. She was going to tell him, but then he found out that way. So it was kind of like, oh, he found out and I didn't want him to find out. And then he's like trying to like talk to Jung Hee, and she doesn't seem like she wants to talk to him. And then her brother finds her. Anyways, all that to say, the preview did not seem the way that people were talking about it. And also, I think I already said this, but I'll say it again. The hate that the male lead's getting, I don't understand it personally. I'm like, I don't love him 100%. Like, he's done some things where I was like, ugh, okay, not a fan. But he's not as awful as people are making him seem. And I feel like they're talking about this. There's like this one situation that happened in the show that they're making such a big deal out of. Because like, basically, like I said, him and JPL and Young Ray had so many interactions, just random. They kept running into each other. And there was a point where her mom had gotten hurt, wouldn't go to the hospital, and then had some kind of like injury. She was like ill. And so Young Ray is trying to get her to the hospital. And then JPL sees, and because his family is rich, he was in his family car. So he sees, he helps her. He brings her to the hospital with her mom and helps and stays with her for a while, you know, hangs out with her for a while. Very sweet. And then at the end, he's like leaves, and then she was gonna go like, because he had like gotten hurt because he's a boxer or whatever, his whole thing. And she was gonna give him this medicine, but she kept hesitating. She kept missing her chance to do it. She was like, okay, I'm finally gonna do it, and he's gonna know how I feel. And she was about to do it, and then they're about to like say something at the same time. And then she was like, you go first. And then that's like the regret, because when she told him to go first, he was like, oh, here's my number, please give it to Jung Hee, like her friend. And then she didn't tell him obviously how she felt. And everyone was bashing him so much for doing that. And I was like, here's the thing. He helped Young Ray out a lot. They're like, he doesn't even care about her mom, and all he wanted to do was give his number. And I was like, he freaking stayed with her for hours while her mom had surgery and was nice to her and kind. And you're saying he's awful because at the end, when they had already parted ways, and the only reason he like went back, I think partly was because she came outside, and then he said that to her. I'm like, why are you acting like he was like planning this the whole time and he's this horrible person? And I was like, also, he doesn't really owe Young Ray anything, so why are you acting like he's this trashy human being? I was like, he helped her and then he left, and then he gave his number to her. Also, not his fault that he doesn't like her, and not his fault that he doesn't know. And also, even if he knew that she liked him, it doesn't mean that he would have spontaneously started liking her instead and then ended up together and been happily ever after. That isn't. My sister just dropped something outside. I don't know if you heard that. That doesn't mean that they would have ended up together. I guess that's my irritation with this whole theory that like, oh, well, if we had just done this and if this had just happened and this, I'm like, that doesn't mean that they would have ended up together. That's like stupid logic. It's not even like, it doesn't, that you can't. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. yeah, I don't know if this rant made any sense, but I had to talk about this show because it was annoying me so much. I do like it. I feel like I should say that. After all that whining that I just did, I'm enjoying it. I just fundamentally don't like love triangles. And it's no deeper than that. I just don't. So, we'll see how much longer I can handle it. I might end up having to drop this show. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, bye.